It is the 8th of September, and as the humidity drops, what we should just get now, weather-wise in Hong Kong, is just blue skies. And then the temperature will dramatically drop in October and November. But before those months come, let's have a quick recap of what's happening in the rooftop garden. The strawberries are growing at a fantastic pace, just like any other weed. So I can't wait for strawberries come February. Lemon tree is fine. The tomato is still here. The pumpkin is doing really well. But what I've done is I've taken it off the edge here, and as the leaves die, I'll just retract the stem that's coiling around the other side of that pipe, and basically it will just try and stay here. These strawberries have kind of thinned out. Some have died. I don't know why. Maybe that's just part of the natural life cycle. But anyway, they've also still grown out and filled the neighboring pots. And look at the kiwi. It is glorious. It luckily got the right amount of water at the right time to basically shed all the dead leaves and bounce back. So I'm really happy that nothing terrible has happened to this plant. But today I'm going to cut off some of its ends, like here and over here. I've probably said this before, but I think this will just be a boring month where the plants are concerned. But we'll see in our later updates for this month. While I prune this, I will distribute the tea leaves that are left over from last night's kombucha that I made, and then just prune some of these strawberries. I'm leaving this one fallow, so to speak. I'm gonna let this tomato grow with these wild plants and see what happens. Because usually I would just clear all this away. It is the last day of September, and my neighbor is moving. Basically, the guy who owns this space, he's moving out beginning of November. So I have about 1 month left on this rooftop, and I've got to downsize the garden. So one of the first victims actually is going to be the pumpkin, because it turns out that this is not a female pumpkin, it's a male, and male ones can't get pregnant. So I have to get rid of it. This, however, for some good news, is a taro plant that someone else identified. This is doing lovely. This nearly died earlier this month, and this was a gift from my neighbor, so I'm going to keep this, and this will have to go downstairs as well as I build out my indoor garden until I get another rooftop space that I can borrow off somebody else. So for this month, it's actually kind of quiet, but one of the first victims as we make this transition is the pumpkin, or one of the newest additions is the taro. But what about all my other plants? Let's get a summary, shall we? In the pumpkin bowl, we've got some baby tomatoes, but it's not really worth accommodating these guys. So I'm gonna let this die and then free up some space. The hanging basket is just full of wild plants. I think I'm gonna keep it around because it looks nice, but the tomato, this one has had it again. Back onto the strawberries, you can see that the bowl is very different from the last video. Basically, they all died, apart from a few over here. I don't understand why. There was just a mass die-off, and then one of them started expanding out again. So we'll have to leave them. But basically, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6th one here. But the blueberry's fine, and so is the kiwi. This tomato, again, is the last one left, but it hasn't given me any fruit. It's got flowers, but it doesn't seem to be very healthy. Maybe it won't grow into anything. Oh, we've got a flower here. Maybe, we'll see. Otherwise, it's just strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. This wild plant, which you can just pull out, you throw it in there and it'll still grow. So these are actually rejects from over here, and I've just thrown them in there, and anyway, you can have that part. That's your safe space. Strawberries, 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 strawberries. At some point, I'm gonna have to bring these downstairs as well. Yeah, the lemon's doing fine. This hasn't really done well at all, considering I've put it back outside and I've watered it a lot. It grows very slowly, this one. But the strawberries, as you can see, are taking its place. Next month, we'll have one more episode on the roof, and then I'm going to start building an indoor garden, or arranging my space to accommodate an indoor garden, and we'll see how that perseveres. But I've got grow lights downstairs and I've got enough space, so all I can say is that some of these plants, especially the strawberries, will have to self-select. Some of them will have to volunteer so I can accommodate the ones that will live. Otherwise, thank you for watching for this month.